Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a deadly stabbing shocks a community.
It's quiet around here usually. Usually nothing happening around here.
What we're learning about the victim tonight.
Plus, Randy Cox's case 1 year later, where his family stands, and an update on his condition.
And Connect and Cut.
Changes come with information, right? And that's a part of education, right? Getting the information and then applying it.
The partnership between barbershops and the Secretary of the State to tackle voting issues.
A few hit or miss showers in the forecast. The big story is the return of big humidity. Your forecast coming up.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Coleman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. More than 36 hours after a welfare check led to the discovery of a woman's bloodied body, police are still actively processing evidence on a scene.
Well, Connecticut's news station's been following this closely since Father's Day, when tips first came into our newsroom.
Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is in East Hartford on Martin Circle, where she has been speaking with neighbors and police.
This happening in a traditionally quiet neighborhood. Neighbors telling us they heard a lot of screams coming from 10 Martin Circle around 6:30 Father's Day morning. Steps from Pratt & Whitney's training center in this residential neighborhood. Sunday morning off to an alarming start.
Early in the morning we heard some screaming, real like frantic screaming.
A neighbor whose identity we are protecting says the victim's mother-in-law stopped by to drop off dogs when she began screaming frantically, and neighbors rushed over to help, getting a glance inside.
I just saw a body laying there, blood everywhere. The house was trashed.
More than 36 hours later, East Hartford police officer Mark Caruso.
Police are working around the clock right now to preserve and to secure all types of physical evidence. We are in the process of pursuing several leads.
Police have not identified the victim pending autopsy results. Neighbors describe her as nice, funny, vibrant, and beautiful. On Sunday, police said she was the victim of extreme physical violence. On Monday,
It appeared she had suffered from what we believe now to be several stab wounds.
police say what happened on Martin Circle was an isolated incident, but neighbors tell Fox 61 they'll be upgrading home security systems out of precaution.
It's quiet around here usually. Usually nothing happening around here.
Police tell us they expect to be here investigating through the night. We do expect another update from police once they finish processing that scene. Police also telling us that they are pursuing leads in this case. In East Hartford, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Samaya, thank you. Well, it's been exactly 1 year since a New Haven man, Randy Cox, became paralyzed while under the custody of the New Haven Police Department. Cox was being transported in the back of a police van, handcuffed and without a seatbelt, when the driver stopped short, sending him flying into the back of that van.
It's an image that his family's been repeating in their minds for a year now. And tonight we're hearing from them directly. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc joining us now live from outside of City Hall with their message. Julia.
Hi, good evening to you. We spoke with Cox's sister, LaToya Boomer, right here on the steps of City Hall not too long ago. She says this anniversary, so to speak, is bittersweet for her family. She says it's sweet because Randy has inspired so much positive change over the last year, but it's also bitter because the only thing he wants is to walk again.
I was shocked, and it made me sick to my stomach.
It's been exactly 1 year since LaToya Boomer's brother, Randy Cox, was paralyzed while under the watchful eye of New Haven police officers.
It could have took, one person to say maybe we should leave him there, because we don't know, what would have been of the injury. We don't know what more damage y'all caused by moving him.
Today, Cox is still paralyzed from the chest down. He spends every day going through physical therapy at a rehabilitation facility in West Haven. He can move his arms, but not his hands or wrists.
It's definitely been a roller coaster, but I'd say he's pretty much been in good attitude, I'd say, the last 6 months.
And just over a week ago, the news they'd been waiting for. The city of New Haven agreed to pay the Cox family $45 million, settling their lawsuit, but still leaving the Cox family feeling unsettled. A message from Randy himself.
He appreciates the mayor and the police chief for keeping their word, holding everyone accountable. He's grateful for the money, but he feels like he won't be able to enjoy it.
The case, now the single largest settlement in an instance of police misconduct in our nation's history. Leading the charge, world-renowned civil rights attorney Ben Crump.
As Randy Cox improves with his health and his healing, that also New Haven and Connecticut can heal from this tragedy.
A tragedy Randy will now live with for the rest of his life.
Hopefully it sends a message to the officers, security guards, mayors, whoever, that you just got to do the right thing.
Now, the case here isn't resolved just yet. 2 of the 5 officers involved have been fired, 1 has retired, and the other 2 will learn their fate in a hearing happening next week. All of them are facing criminal charges, all misdemeanors. We're live here in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you very much. Well, new details tonight. Police have identified the person shot and killed in Waterbury over the weekend. Police say 32-year-old Donald Moore was shot in the neck on West Main Street just after 4 p.m. yesterday. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say it was an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. Anyone with information should call police. And a Southington man is facing charges after allegedly robbing 2 restaurants and threatening employees with a razor blade. 38-year-old Jonathan Lavelle is accused of going into Zhang's Chinese restaurant in Southtown a Pizza last night. Police say he had a razor blade and demanded money. At one of the restaurants, Lavelle allegedly stole the tip drawer, which had about $15 in it. He's due in court tomorrow.
Also in Southington, police have arrested a man accused of breaking into 4 cars and taking police on a chase in a stolen U-Haul. Police responded to the Blackstone Irish pub yesterday for car break-ins. Police later located the suspect, 56-year-old Jimmy Collins, at Tops Market in Plantsville. From there, he took police on a chase before eventually crashing into 2 cars. Collins left the scene and was eventually taken into custody after he was found riding a stolen bike. Police say Collins has an extensive history of being involved in similar incidents. Time for a first check on the forecast here. A hot day for the start of the week here. Taking a live look outside over Hartford right now. But not a bad way to start the week.
No, a gorgeous day out there. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with the forecast. Rachel.
Yeah, feeling good, nice and comfortable out there. Temperatures in the 70s to right around 80 degrees and low humidity. We'll have another day very similar tomorrow. There is a chance for an isolated shower, but most of the state will stay dry. And we really haven't had to turn on the AC too much this season, right? 80 degrees in Windsor Lock, 70 in Chester, and 68 the current temperature in Groton. Every once in a while, you'll see a couple blips here pop up on the radar. Those are really isolated showers and sprinkles, but again, not affecting too much of us. The real rain stays to the southwest of us. That is not heading in our direction. Temperatures tonight for the news at 10 and 11 will be in the mid to upper 60s. And as we head towards daybreak, we're dropping into the 50s. So that's where we'll start the day tomorrow. Overall, more cloud cover than we had out there today. We'll see that chance for a spot shower, highs in the mid to upper 70s, which is around or a little bit below average for this time of year. And a pleasant evening tomorrow night. We'll see similar weather, but brighter for your Wednesday to kickstart the arrival of summer. But summer humidity is definitely lurking in the forecast. We'll talk about it in the 7-day and take a look ahead to Travelers Championship weather coming up.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. Well, new tonight, the Coast Guard has launched an air search after a tourist submarine vanished while exploring the Titanic shipwreck in the Atlantic Ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard in Boston, which is coordinating the search, says the small submarine with 5 people on board was launched yesterday for a 6-hour tour of the historic shipwreck, but it never resurfaced. The Titanic wreckage sits about 370 miles off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada.
We're working very closely at this point to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to locate the submersible and rescue those on board.
The Titanic site where the sub disappeared is 900 miles east off of Cape Cod. The Coast Guard says that they reached out to the Navy and Canadian Armed Forces for possible assistance. Well, Hartford police and fire are investigating an early morning fire that displaced 10 people. 4 of them were injured. This happened on Bulkley Avenue off of Park Street. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin has the latest on the investigation.
Hartford firefighters tell us that 4 people had to be rescued from inside this home, all 4 of which have injuries and 2 of them even critical. They say 2 firefighters are also recovering today as well. Firefighters tell me they were called to the multifamily home just after 1 o'clock this morning. When they arrived, they found heavy fire already in the kitchen, and that was spreading up to the 2nd floor along with significant heavy thick smoke. Hartford police tell us 4 people were rescued and taken to the hospital. Out of those 4, 1 adult and 1 child were not breathing when they were found by firefighters. They were giving CPR by those first responders and taken away with critical injuries. The adult was taken to the Bridgeport burn unit to be treated, and the other 2 adults are being treated for smoke inhalation. We are told 2 firefighters also have injuries today, one with minor injuries treated on scene, and the other was taken to the hospital after he tried to break out a window and ended up cutting up his hands. Firefighters tell us altogether 7 adults and 3 children are without a home today. And Hartford police and the fire marshals spent several hours today investigating, trying to figure out what exactly happened here to cause this many people to be without a home. They say once they have more information, they'll release that. And Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thank you. Crews in Derby responded to a fire at a 2-family home this morning. The fire broke out at a home on Maple Avenue around 9 a.m. 2 people were home at the time, but they were able to get out before the fire crews arrived on scene. Fire crews say that the layout of the building made it tough to put the flames out.
This structure makes it difficult. It's been renovated numerous times. There's a lot of opening up of walls where fire could be hiding, and it takes a lot of manpower to bring them in, get them opened up, and make sure that there's no other fire hidden.
Officials say the fire caused extensive damage to the rear of the 2nd floor and to the attic area. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Well, state police have charged a man from Rhode Island with DUI after he was found driving the wrong way on I-95 in Madison. Police say when they attempted to stop Paul Usenia, he hit a police cruiser before coming to a stop. The cruiser was damaged during this. No injuries, though, were reported. Usenia was charged with driving under the influence and reckless driving.